Okay, section 1.7 starts on page 106 in the textbook. It's called graduated commissions. Now remember, straight commissions is just however much your sales are, and you just get a percent of that amount. With graduated commissions, you actually get a percentage for some of the sales and then a higher percentage of some of the extra sales. The idea is to give salespeople an incentive to try to really sell a lot. So you might only make 4% on the first $10,000 worth of sales, but on the next $10,000 worth of sales, you get 7% commission. Well, you're getting paid more. So it's really like a salesperson's way of getting time and a half, basically. So as an employer, you put in a graduated commission schedule to give employees extra incentives. As an employee, you, as a salesperson, it's a way to really want to make some extra money. So let's take a look at some of these. Now I'm not going to have time to go over the example. The example is pretty straightforward. For instance, in this particular example that I'm not going to go over, and I'm going to go over it anyway, I guess, just a little bit. This is a typical commission chart, I guess. This salesperson is going to get 4% of the first $1,000 of sales that they make in a month. After anything over $1,000, they'll make 6% on the next $2,000 worth of sales. And then they'll get 8% of any sales that they make over $3,000. So the big question is, how much sales did they make in a month? If you know how much sales they made in a month, you can easily figure out what their commission is. In this case, they made $9,840 worth of sales. So the authors went ahead for you and they said the first $1,000, they gave them 4%. I want to zoom in and make sure you can see this, which is $40. On the next $2,000 worth of sales, they got 6%, which is $120. Okay, so now follow this concept. They have already been paid commission on 1 plus 2,000, 1,000 plus 2,000, or $3,000, right? They've already got pay on $3,000. So anything over $3,000, they got 8%. So they took the total sales for the month, 9,840, subtracted the amount of money we've already paid them on. We've already paid them on $3,000 worth of sales, right? So that gave them 6,840. So 6,840 times 8% was 547. And then you just simply added up all the sales. And if you wanted to check yourself, you could say 1,000 plus 2,000 plus 6,840 better equal their amount of sales for the month, okay, which is 9,840. Let's do a couple examples to make sure you get this. You might want to really examine this example, and I'll do a couple with you right now. So follow along with me in your textbook because I don't want to really do a lot of flopping around back and forth. I'm going to start off by doing number 6. And this is on page 107. Now in number 6, you got a guy who sells computer hardware. He's paid 4% commission on the first $8,000 of sales, 6,000 on the next 10,000, or 6% on the next 10,000, and 8% over 18,000. What's his commissions on 24,550 sales worth of sales? And that's on question number 6. Hopefully you're looking at question 6 right now. So his total sales is $24,550. $24,550. Got to keep that in mind. So it's pretty straightforward. It says that he's paid 4% on the first 8,000. So I'm just going to take $8,000, multiply it by 0.04, which is 4%, and that's going to give me $320. On the next $10,000 worth of sales, it says it right in the book, on the next $10,000 worth of sales, he gets 6%. So he made $600. He got a couple extra percentage points on the next $10,000 worth of sales. I'm going to zoom this in just a little bit to make sure you can see it clearly. And now, how much did we already pay him on? Well, we've already paid him on $18,000 worth of sales. 10,000 plus 8,000. We've already paid him on 18,000. And if I look at the book, it says on anything over 18,000, we're going to pay him 8%. Well, let's take a look. I have he has sales of 24,550. 24,550 minus 18,000. We got to figure out how much he gets 8% of, right? So if I take 24,550 minus 18,000, I'm going to find out that we get to pay him 8% on $6,550 worth of his sales. Multiply that by my 8%. I got $524. And that should be his total commission. So all I got to do is add up his commissions. So once I add this all up, I'm going to get $1,444. And that's how much his actual pay is. Okay? Not too hard, right? Now, it doesn't always have to be necessarily numbers of sales. Let's take a look at number 8 in a text. And number 8, and I'm just going to try to show you the book here to make sure you follow along real good. This person demonstrates home fire alarm systems, and she's paid $10 per demonstration. It doesn't matter how much she makes necessarily. She gets $10 per demonstration, and she gets $15.50 for any demonstrations over $10. So this is a graduated commissions question, isn't it? But there's more. She doesn't just get paid per demonstration. She also gets a bonus of $15 of commissions for any month of her sales. Okay, so you follow me on this? She gets paid $10 per demonstrations for the first 10. If she works extra and gives anything over 10, she gets $15.50. For every sale, she gets a bonus of $15. What's her commissions? Not a problem. Keep on number 8, and you may have to watch this a couple times to make sure you get this. So, on number 8, she gets $10 per demo, and she gets $15.50 for over 10. Well, let's figure it out. And she gave 18 demos. She gave 18 demonstrations. Well, let's see. This is going to be pretty simple math, I think. For the first 10 demonstrations, she gets, not a percentage this time, she gets $10. So she gets $100 for the first 10. But she gets $15.50 for anything over 10 demonstrations. So if I take the 18 demonstrations that she gave minus 10, that's going to equal 8. So she got 8, and she gets a little bit extra. She gets $15.50 for those 8 demonstrations. So it really gives her quite an incentive to give more demonstrations than 10, right? She wants to get over that 10 as quickly as possible to really start making some money. So just for demonstrations, she earned $224 for the demos. But wait, there's more. She also earned some money for sales. She earns $15 per sale, and she made 6 sales. So 6 sales times $15. She also earned $90 for her sales. So her total pay is $314 for the week. Okay? In commissions and sales and that kind of stuff, you're going to see lots of different ways. Don't let it fool you. Don't let it throw you. All you do is just work through the problem, understand how the pay structure is set up, and you should have no problem with the homework. So that's graduated commissions.